Well, now, Lordy, 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 Miss Claudia, girl, you sure been good to me. You just a reelin' rockin' baby, fine as you can be. Because I give you all of my money, girl, but you just won't treat me right. You like the ball in the morning, don't come back till late at night. I'm gonna tell my mama, girl, I swear I thought what you've been doing to me. I'm gonna tell everybody that I'm down in misery.
Welcome to the Magic Hour, filmed here at SoBou in the French Quarter, whose motto is where life is meant to be lived, not endured. And no one embodies that statement more than this gentleman sitting next to me, Deacon John Moore, a musical legend of the city of New Orleans, president of the Musicians Union of New Orleans, and one of the select few people living that can say that he has played in every jazz fest since its creation. We are honored to have Deacon Moore on the Magic Hour.
Well, like we say in New Orleans, always a pleasure.
No, this is
always
absolutely incredible. So I wanted to kick it off, maybe just ask you to start a little bit about understanding, who inspired you, what kind of drives you in your musical career to do the work that you do.
Well, it all started out the day I was born.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Well, I happen to be blessed to be born into a musical family because I believe, and so do a lot of people, that music is largely a genetic trait and is passed down from generation to generation. So I was just blessed, to have a mother who played the piano and a grandfather who played the banjo and a sister who played the viola, 4 brothers who played the guitar, 2 brothers who played the drum, and I had an aunt who taught toe tap and ballet. So I came out of a musical environment when I was growing up, and my mother recognized my ability to sing because she said, out of all her 13 children, I cried the loudest. Then you could hear him all around the block when he started crying, say, well, I knew he was gonna be a singer. So to solidify her beliefs, she cut my nails under a fig tree when I was an infant because there was a credo saying that if you cut a child's nail under a fig tree, he'll grow up to be a singer.
Wow.
And that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
But besides singing, I can play the guitar. And I do a little soft shoe and I can dance as good as I want to.
Wow. I love it. Tell me about some of your initial first shows when you were getting started,
Well,
and where did you kind of come up through?
Well, I came up through the tutelage of my mother. She would play the piano and she would make me sing to entertain her friends and show me off to her friends. A lot of them were members of the clergy,
Okay.
nuns and priests.
Yes.
And I didn't want to do it, but she made me do it. And once somebody gave me a silver dime and said, "Oh, son, you sound so good." And I saw that silver dime. I mean, that was like $100 to me back in the 40s.
Yes. Yes.
I said, "Oh, you can get paid for this."
Yes.
So after that, didn't have a problem because I was expecting some monetary reward for
Right.
my singing.
Yes. You mentioned the clergy, you mentioned the nuns. I have to ask with the tag Deacon John Moore, the story behind how.
Behind the deacon moniker?
Yes.
Well, I've been playing music since 1957 when I was in high school at St. Augustine High School, the Purple Knights, yay! And I had begun singing in a little rock and roll band in elementary school, and then when I got in high school, I learned how to play the guitar. because I found out that, you know, if you could sing and play, a lot of people would want you. They'd jump over 100 singers to get a guy who could play and sing because they're cutting down on the payroll.
Right. Yes. Yep.
Anyway, the singers always get the girls. That was the real reason. I couldn't get no girls. I said, well, this is a good way to do it.
I love it.
Now they'll notice me. They'll be asking me out now.
Oh, I love it.
But around the time, you know, I got out of high school, well, the band broke up because some of the players went off to college, went to other states, and but we had gained a lot of popularity with me as a front man. So I just kind of reorganized the group, and during those days, you had to have a name for the band leader.
Right.
Like most of the bands, it was like Danny and the Juniors, Tommy Ridgely and the Intouchables, Sugar Boy and the Cane Cutters, Danny White and the Cavaliers. So we had a meeting one day after rehearsal, and everybody looked at me because I was the front man on the front line singing and playing, you know, and said, what we gonna call him? What do you mean, what you gonna call me? And he said, well, you know, we gotta have a name for you, you know, if you're gonna be the band leader. So everybody started throwing names in a hat, and then all of a sudden, you know, yeah, that's all right, we gotta get, you know, and then all of a sudden the drummer, his name was Al Miller, and he used to play with Roy Brown when he played trumpet, and he played with Professor Longhair as a drum. He was the voice you heard on Bald Head. She ain't got no hair. He was like the call and response voice.
Yeah.
And, well, he was our drummer. He was also the oldest in the band. I was always the youngest. Now I'm the oldest, everybody else younger than me. But anyway, aside from that, he came up with the name and said, let's call him Deacon Jones. And I said, oh my God, don't call me Deacon John. He said, you see, I like that. You look like a preacher. And I said, no. I said, well, you call me that, we won't get any gigs. People are going to think we got a gospel group.
Right.
They ain't going to play our records on the radio. And everybody just hit the floor. Yeah, that's it. Let's call him Deacon Jones. And, you know, once somebody tag you with a name, you can't get rid of it. And so he probably got the song when the name of the Deacon John moniker, because it's a line from one of Roy Brown's most famous songs called Good Rockin' Tonight. Have you heard the news? There's good rockin' tonight. And one of the lines said, Deacon Joan, Elder Brown, two of the slickest cats in town. They'll all be there, just wait and see. Rockin' and stomping at the jamborees. I heard the news. There's good rockin' tonight. So I figured that's where he got the line from.
But no, you embody, you are such a critical piece of this fabric that is such a big piece of yours. What does that mean to you?
Well, you know, I'm one of the few musicians that's still alive that can say they have played every jazz festival since they started. Matter of fact, I played Quint Davis's high school prom. I played for Senator Mary Landrew's high school prom. I played for John Goodman's wedding.
Wow.
I've been an actor, a musician, a singer, a dancer. I've been in theater. So, I had an equipment rental service for sound systems and backline gear. So I've been in all facets of the music business, because I found out earlier that, if you want to survive and make music your primary occupation, I'm one of also the few musicians that can say that I've been supported my whole life by my talent alone.
That's
I never had a day job.
Right. If you were going to be in front of a room of 100 college students today, Deacon John shows up to give them an advice on how to make these connections with these people, what does Deacon John say to them?
Well, I can say it to you And this is my brand of humor. I say, if you want to be successful in show business, you got to remember three things. Keep your nose brown, your teeth white, and your lips shiny. You got a lot of kissing to do.
It's beautiful.
But anyway, my advice, would be, please study your craft. Get some education. Learn how to be good at what you do. Study the masters, the people who came before you. Read about their lives and see what their ingredients was successful. And most importantly, you have to learn the business of music. Don't just be all obsessed with playing, but you want to make money and make a living playing music, you're going to have to learn the business of music.
To get to this point, to be, have you here on this show to wrap up our first kind of season of trying to create a different way to engage college students, but also a unique way to tell New Orleans story in a way. It's an honor to have you here. I do want to leave you with something that everybody who sat in that chair on this first season I've shared with, and I'm wearing these today. Every Thursday I wear these. They're 2 sets of glass beads.
Long as it's not a kiss to build a dream on.
No. But these are my Mardi Gras. I love this guy. I love them. These are my Mardi Gras glass beads I caught in 2017. One on the first day of Mardi Gras, Cleopatra Parade.
Well, you are very
and one on Fat
fortunate
Tuesday.
because you've got real beads.
Right. Well, and
these are not, plastic.
No, these are glass beads, and I picked up a
Ain't
pair
nothing
for
like
each
the
guest.
real thing.
No,
Yeah.
for good luck, as well as just a sign of pay it forward of the positive things that you do in our community and with the music. And I'd love for you to have your set
It's
of,
my
of your
crown.
beads. Absolutely. So thank you for
very
joining us
much.
on the Magic
Merci
Hour.
beaucoup.
You're the
Let the
best.
bon ton rouler.
Absolutely.
Mardi Gras to the world.
Yeah, that's it. You're the best. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
No.
When you're smiling, the whole
The world smiles at you.
And when you're crying, stop that crying. Da 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 da. But when you're happy, oh no, when you're crying, you bring on the rain. So stop that crying. Be
happy again.
Oh, when you're smiling. Oh, when you're smiling. The
whole world smiles
with
you. Good evening, everybody.
Do you want me to do a quick? I'll do a quick intro, then I'm gonna
Whenever
step
I'm
out.
sitting next to somebody good looking, I like to get a little closer.
That's good. We can use my deafness as an
Yeah. Well, it's tough when you're good looking, darling.
This is an incredible connection right here
Yeah,
that's
this
happening,
is
and this is
a
what
rare
thi- thi-
connection.
this is what I call sacred threads of life, and that I would never have met either of you if it wasn't for this crazy idea to start connecting with people and sharing stories. And Pat being episode number 2, sitting here with Deacon John, episode number 15. And there's a link that's brought us together, and this is this idea of Pat.
That's a big link.
Pat wanting to have a living jazz funeral, which we're starting to put together. It's going to be in early October. What has called you, and what is your desire to do this living jazz funeral? We'll start with that, and then you guys.
Okay, my living jazz funeral, I think, woke me up in the middle of the night and said, "Why don't you do this? I mean, why wait till you die and then
Why
you don't,
not?
and you wouldn't have any fun." And what people have to realize is that the musicians make New Orleans. People come here because of the music. And it's just ridiculous that they're not put on a high stool,
I couldn't agree with you more.
And I
They could put me on one of those pedestals like Lee Circle was talking.
Sure. We're ready.
I'm ready when you're ready. But I got to die first.
No, you don't. That's
Don't
what I'm
have
trying
living
to
people
show.
are not on memorial.
I want to see, for you to tell me, after my funeral, how many people sign up to do another jazz funeral. I think,
You're gonna be starting something.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So we can stop, right?
Well, bye bye, bye bye, baby. Lord, I won't be trouble no more. Goodbye, Claudio, darling. Down the road I go.
That was amazing. You were having heads turned, people popping out the corner, looking over,
Yeah,
like,
who's
who's
that
listening
loud
to
ass
that? That was beautiful.